Imagine waking up every morning and standing tall with legs that feel strong, steady, and full of life. No more weakness, no more painful cramps, and no more fear of losing your balance. Instead, you walk with confidence, enjoy your independence, and move freely without hesitation. The secret? It's hidden in your nutrition. Today, I'm going to share with you 7 powerful vitamins and minerals, your body's silent guardians, that keep your legs flexible, your bones strong, and your muscles working at their best. From boosting muscle power to protecting bone density and improving circulation, these essential nutrients can transform the way you move and the way you feel. So whether you love peaceful walks in the park, dancing to your favorite songs, or simply want to stay independent as long as possible, this message is for you. And before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you'll never miss the best health tips we share here. Together we can build a healthier, stronger future. Now let's begin with the star of the show, vitamin D. As the years pass, our bodies go through changes we can't avoid. Muscle mass declines, bones lose density, and movements that once felt effortless suddenly take more energy. One of the most overlooked reasons behind this decline is a lack of vitamin D. And here's the truth, it's not just about brittle bones or osteoporosis. This vitamin plays a critical role in keeping your legs powerful, balanced, and fully functional. Here's why: as we age, our skin becomes less effective at producing vitamin D from sunlight. On top of that, many older adults spend less time outdoors, sometimes because of mobility issues, lifestyle changes, or simply concerns about sun damage. The result is a silent but dangerous deficiency that slowly weakens muscles and leaves the legs unstable. Research has shown again and again that low vitamin D levels are directly linked to muscle weakness and a higher risk of falls among seniors. In fact, studies published in leading medical journals reveal that older adults with healthy vitamin D levels had stronger muscle fibers, better coordination, and improved balance. On the other hand, those who were deficient lost muscle strength more quickly, making even simple tasks like climbing stairs or standing up from a chair far more difficult. But vitamin D isn't only about calcium absorption or bone protection. This powerhouse nutrient directly fuels muscle function. It supports protein synthesis, strengthens the communication between nerves and muscles, and maintains those all-important fast-twitch fibers that help your legs react quickly when your balance is threatened. Without enough of it, your reaction time slows, your muscles weaken, and your risk of injury rises dramatically. Vitamin D does far more than most people realize. Think of it as the fuel that powers your leg muscles. Without enough of it, your muscles simply cannot perform at their best. This vitamin is a key player in protein synthesis and in the communication between your nerves and muscles. In fact, it protects and maintains the fast-twitch fibers, the very fibers responsible for quick reactions and balance. Why is that important? Imagine you trip on the edge of a rug. With healthy fast-twitch fibers, your legs react instantly, catching you before you fall. But when vitamin D is lacking, those fibers weaken. Your reaction slows, muscle contractions become weaker, and the chance of a serious fall skyrockets. Even more surprising, vitamin D doesn't just influence strength and balance, it also helps reduce inflammation inside the muscles. For many seniors, this translates into fewer leg cramps, less stiffness, and relief from the nagging aches that seem to come out of nowhere. Something as simple as correcting a vitamin D deficiency can bring noticeable comfort and freedom of movement. But here's the sobering truth: ignoring vitamin D deficiency doesn't just mean weak legs. It opens the door to bigger health threats. Without enough vitamin D, calcium can't be absorbed effectively, leaving your bones brittle and vulnerable. A stumble that might have been nothing in your younger years could now cause a fracture, sometimes one that permanently affects independence and mobility. Beyond the bones and muscles, low vitamin D has also been tied to a higher risk of heart disease, memory decline, and a weakened immune system. Seniors who don't pay attention to their vitamin D intake often face not only frailty in their legs, but also a greater likelihood of chronic illness that steals away quality of life. The good news: the solution is both simple and life-changing. Boosting your vitamin D levels is something anyone can do. Spending just 15 to 30 minutes in gentle sunlight, preferably in the early morning or late afternoon, can work wonders. Expose your arms and legs when possible, but remember that sunscreen, while important for skin protection, also blocks vitamin D production. While diet alone may not provide everything your body needs, it can still make a big difference. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, sardines, fortified dairy products, egg yolks, and mushrooms are all rich sources of vitamin D. Including these foods regularly adds a natural layer of support for your muscles and bones. And finally, supplements. For many older adults, especially those who spend most of their time indoors, a daily vitamin D supplement is not just helpful, it's essential. Health experts generally recommend between 800 and 1,000 IU per day for bone and muscle health, though higher amounts may be required if your deficiency is severe. Of course, always check with your doctor before taking higher doses. A simple blood test can reveal your vitamin D levels and guide you toward the right dosage. Today, many doctors include this test as a routine part of senior care because they know just how vital this nutrient is for preventing falls, fractures, and long-term decline. Doctors today routinely test seniors for vitamin D, and with good reason it plays a vital role in preventing falls and fractures. But vitamin D doesn't work alone. To truly protect your legs, there's another nutrient that must walk hand in hand with it: calcium. Unlike children and younger adults whose bones are constantly remodeling and strengthening, older adults face a different reality. Over the years, bone mass steadily declines. This gradual thinning leaves the skeleton fragile, especially in the legs. Hip fractures, femur breaks, and stress fractures in the lower limbs aren't just painful, they can change a life forever. A fall that might have left you with only a bruise in your youth could now lead to months of recovery or even permanent loss of mobility. But here's what many people don't realize. Calcium isn't just about building bone. It's also critical for muscle contraction, the very process that allows you to move. Every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, every moment of balance relies on calcium ions, triggering muscle fibers to contract smoothly. Without enough calcium, muscles misfire. They cramp, they feel weak, and they can't generate the force needed to keep you steady. That's why seniors who are low in calcium often complain of sluggish legs, frequent cramps, and reduced endurance. So how do you make sure your body gets what it needs? The good news is that calcium can be found in a wide variety of foods. Yes, milk, yogurt, and cheese are classic sources, but they're not the only options. Leafy greens like kale and bok choy, protein-rich tofu, crunchy almonds, tiny calcium-packed sardines, and fortified plant-based milks all provide excellent nutrition. The secret lies in variety. By mixing multiple calcium sources into your meals, your body absorbs it more efficiently, and your bones stay better nourished. Seniors with dietary restrictions, lactose intolerance, or absorption issues may need extra help. This is where calcium supplements can step in. When paired with vitamin D, absorption skyrockets, making the mineral far more effective. But here's the caution: more doesn't always mean better. Too much calcium, especially from supplements, can cause kidney stones, digestive troubles, or even calcium buildup in the arteries. Balance is everything. Experts generally recommend around 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams per day for older adults, ideally from a mix of whole foods and supplements when necessary. And there's one more piece to the puzzle movement. Calcium alone can't keep your bones strong unless you use them. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, light jogging, and simple resistance training actually signal your body to direct calcium into your bones and muscles where it's needed most. Without exercise, even adequate calcium intake won't fully protect your skeleton. It's the combination of proper nutrition and regular activity that truly builds lasting strength. Ignoring calcium needs doesn't just weaken the bones, it quietly steals away freedom. Without strong bones and steady muscles, the ability to walk with confidence, enjoy the activities you love, and maintain independence slips further out of reach. But with the right habits, every step you take can be a step toward a stronger, more resilient future. Strong bones and healthy muscles form the foundation of independence. But there's another piece of the puzzle that often gets overlooked: your nervous system. And at the heart of keeping that system sharp is one essential nutrient: vitamin B12. Most people talk about calcium and protein when it comes to leg strength, but few realize that vitamin B12 plays a direct and fundamental role in how your muscles actually work. You see, B12 is responsible for keeping the nerves healthy, those tiny electrical highways that run from your spinal cord down to your legs. When your B12 levels are where they should be, those signals are fast, strong, and precise. But without it, the messages get scrambled. Your muscles don't receive clear instructions. The result: weakness, unsteady steps, and a slow but frightening loss of control. That's why one of the most common red flags of B12 deficiency is a feeling of heavy, exhausted legs, often accompanied by tingling, numbness, or a pins and needles sensation. It's not just fatigue, it's your body waving a warning flag. Here's the bigger issue. Vitamin B12 deficiency is shockingly common among older adults. Unlike other vitamins that can be stored easily or absorbed from many foods, B12 requires a special extraction process in the stomach. Your body needs strong stomach acid and a protein called intrinsic factor to unlock it from food. But as we age, stomach acid naturally decreases. On top of that, conditions like gastritis, acid reflux, or the long-term use of antacids can make absorption even harder. Add in the fact that many seniors unknowingly eat diets low in B12-rich foods, and you've got a recipe for gradual silent depletion. And the consequences go far beyond feeling weak. If left uncorrected, low B12 can actually cause permanent nerve damage. It can interfere with your balance, coordination, and reflexes. Many seniors who experience frequent falls, difficulty walking, or that nagging sense that their legs just don't work anymore are often suffering from neurological effects of a B12 shortage, not simply normal aging. The tragedy is that it's entirely preventable. The good news is that restoring B12 can make a profound difference. Studies show that seniors who correct their deficiency often regain strength, stamina, and smoother leg function. It's not a miracle, it's science. By feeding your nervous system what it needs, you give your legs the clear signals required to move with confidence again. So where do you find this critical vitamin? Unlike many nutrients, B12 is found almost exclusively in animal products. Lean meats, fish, eggs, and dairy all provide excellent sources. Shellfish, especially clams and organ meats like liver, are some of the richest sources available. For those who follow a plant-based lifestyle or who struggle with absorption, fortified foods such as cereals and plant-based milks can help, but often supplements or even periodic injections are needed to truly restore levels. The bottom line, strong legs aren't just about muscle power, they're about nerve power. And without vitamin B12, those nerves lose their spark, leaving the legs slow, unstable, and unreliable. By paying attention to this often forgotten nutrient, you're not just protecting your legs, you're protecting your independence, your balance, and your freedom to move through life on your own terms. For those who struggle to absorb vitamin B12 naturally, there's hope. Fortified foods like cereals and plant-based milks can provide extra support, but in many cases, supplements become essential. The encouraging news is that vitamin B12 is one of the safest nutrients to add. Unlike some vitamins that can build up in the body, excess B12 is simply flushed out through urine. That's why many older adults benefit from higher dose supplements or even periodic injections prescribed by their doctors, especially if absorption is a challenge. Regular blood tests can track your levels, ensuring you stay in the healthy range and preventing the slow creeping decline in leg strength that often comes with deficiency. And here's the bottom line. Strong legs aren't only about physical muscle power, they depend on your nervous system's sharpness. Reaction, time, coordination, balance, all of these are rooted in how well your nerves communicate with your muscles. You could exercise every day, but if those electrical signals aren't firing properly, your legs won't respond the way you need them to. That's why maintaining B12 isn't just smart, it's one of the most overlooked yet powerful strategies for protecting independence and mobility as you age. Now let's turn to another behind-the-scenes hero, magnesium. Every single step you take depends on this mineral. Magnesium acts like a conductor in an orchestra, making sure every muscle fiber contracts and relaxes at the right time. It prevents painful spasms, reduces fatigue, and supports endurance. Without it, your muscles lose their rhythm. One of the most common yet often ignored signs of magnesium deficiency is restless leg syndrome, those uncomfortable crawling sensations that make it impossible to rest. Along with that comes frequent nighttime leg cramps, sudden stabbing contractions that jolt you awake. For many seniors, this doesn't just mean lost sleep. It means slower recovery from daily activities, constant discomfort, and a cycle of exhaustion that affects the entire body. Magnesium steps in to calm overactive nerve signals, keeping your muscles from seizing up unexpectedly. That's why it's considered essential for anyone who struggles with tension, tightness, or involuntary contractions. But magnesium's influence goes even further than muscles. It's also vital for bone and joint health. Calcium usually gets all the credit for strong bones, but without magnesium, calcium can't do its job effectively. This mineral guides calcium to the right places into the bones, rather than letting it collect in the wrong places like arteries or soft tissues, where it can contribute to stiffness, pain, or even cardiovascular risk. Studies consistently show that higher magnesium intake is associated with stronger bones and fewer fractures in aging adults, making it an indispensable factor for mobility and independence. So why is magnesium deficiency so common? Stress medications and modern diets all play a role. Many seniors take diuretics, blood pressure medications, or acid-reducing drugs that deplete magnesium over time. Combined with diets lacking in whole foods, nuts, seeds, and greens, the result is widespread deficiency that chips away at energy, endurance, and flexibility. Modern life makes magnesium deficiency almost inevitable for many older adults. Medications like proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux or common blood pressure drugs quietly drain the body's magnesium stores. Add to that a diet low in whole magnesium-rich foods, and the result is widespread deficiency that slowly chips away at stamina, endurance, and flexibility. This is why so many seniors notice they can't walk as far as they used to, that climbing stairs feels harder, or that even simple activities leave them unusually tired. It isn't always just aging. Very often it's a lack of the right nutrients to fuel performance. The encouraging part is that restoring magnesium can have almost immediate benefits. When levels are replenished, cramps ease up, energy comes back, and movement feels more natural again. Seniors who once struggled with heaviness in their legs often describe a surprising lightness and renewed energy. Those plagued by nightly cramps or stiffness find they can finally sleep peacefully and wake up refreshed. Even balance and coordination improve because magnesium plays a key role in fine-tuning the neuromuscular connections that keep your movement steady. So how do you get more magnesium? The best sources are whole natural foods, dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, and avocados are all magnesium powerhouses that can be worked into your meals with ease. For many, food alone can be enough. But if you struggle to get adequate amounts from your diet, supplements are a reliable option. Magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are two forms that are especially well absorbed by the body. The transformation that comes with restoring magnesium levels can be remarkable. Heaviness gives way to energy, cramps give way to comfort, and stiff steps give way to smoother, more confident strides. Magnesium is truly one of those silent heroes of mobility and vitality. Now let's shift to another key mineral that often goes unnoticed until the body cries out for it: potassium. Picture this: you wake up in the morning, swing your legs out of bed, and as soon as your feet hit the floor, bam, a sharp cramp seizes your calf. Sound familiar? That painful cramp is one of the most common signs of low potassium. This mineral acts as a master regulator for muscle function by balancing fluids inside and outside your muscle cells. When potassium levels dip too low, the balance is lost and the muscles contract involuntarily, resulting in those painful spasms. And while cramps may seem like nothing more than an annoyance for older adults who already deal with reduced circulation and weaker muscle mass, they can be far more than inconvenient. They can be debilitating. But the story doesn't end with cramps. Potassium also ensures smooth communication between your brain and your muscles. Have you ever noticed your legs trembling after standing for a while? Or felt stiffness creep in during a short walk? Low potassium may be the hidden culprit. Without it, nerve signals to the muscles become less efficient. That miscommunication can lead to shakiness, weakness, or even difficulty lifting your feet properly, problems that dramatically increase the risk of falls. And for seniors, avoiding falls isn't just important, it's life-saving. Potassium isn't just about soothing cramps, it also plays a surprising role in protecting your bones. Inside your body, natural acids can slowly erode bone density over time. Potassium helps neutralize those acids, slowing down the breakdown process. Studies suggest that a potassium-rich diet can actually reduce the risk of osteoporosis and keep your legs structurally stronger for longer. In other words, potassium keeps your muscles and bones working together in perfect harmony. So how do you make sure you're getting enough? Fortunately, nature makes it easy. While bananas are often the first food people think of, they're really just the beginning. Sweet potatoes, creamy avocados, leafy spinach, hearty beans, juicy oranges, and even a simple baked potato with the skin left on. All of these are excellent potassium powerhouses. By rotating a variety of these foods into your daily meals, you give your muscles and bones the steady nourishment they need to stay strong. But what if your diet falls short? Supplements can seem like a quick solution. The recommended daily intake is about 2,600 milligrams for women and 3,400 milligrams for men. For most people, that's entirely achievable through a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and legumes. However, if you have health conditions like kidney disease or high blood pressure, it's important to be cautious. Too much potassium can be dangerous, so always work with your doctor to find the right balance for your body. Now let's move to another nutrient that rarely gets the spotlight, yet may be one of the most critical of all: vitamin K. When people think of strong bones, they usually think of calcium and vitamin D. And while both are essential, here's the truth. Without vitamin K, those nutrients can't do their jobs properly. Vitamin K is the traffic controller, directing calcium to the right place into your bones while keeping it out of your arteries and soft tissues, where it could cause stiffness, poor circulation, or even heart problems. For older adults, this becomes even more crucial. Studies show that people with higher vitamin K intake tend to have stronger bones, lower risk of fractures, and overall better bone health compared to those with low levels. Why? Because vitamin K activates a special protein called osteocalcin. This protein acts like glue, binding calcium firmly into the bone matrix, making bones denser and more resistant to breaking. But vitamin K doesn't stop there. Beyond bone density, it's also essential for joint health and muscle function. Healthy legs aren't just about strong bones, they also need flexible joints and responsive muscles. Vitamin K has been shown to reduce inflammation in the joints, slowing the progression of arthritis and easing stiffness in the knees. For many older adults, that means moving more freely, with less pain and more confidence. Vitamin K's benefits go beyond bone density. It also plays a powerful role in protecting the joints and muscles that keep your legs moving. Research shows that vitamin K can reduce inflammation inside the joints, which helps slow the progression of osteoarthritis and ease the stiffness that so many older adults feel in their knees. If you've ever noticed aching when you walk, or that stiff, locked-up feeling after sitting for too long, vitamin K could be the missing link that brings relief and restores smoother movement. But that's not all. Difficulty with balance, unsteady walking, and a higher risk of falls are often tied to weak or poorly coordinated leg muscles. Emerging studies suggest that vitamin K supports muscle strength and fine motor coordination, especially in aging adults. It works by regulating calcium levels inside muscle cells, making sure contractions happen smoothly and precisely instead of in the jerky, uncoordinated way that can cause instability. So where can you find this powerful nutrient? Vitamin K, the form most commonly found in plants, is abundant in leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts. Adding even one serving of these vegetables to your daily meals can begin to tip the balance in your favor. Then there's vitamin K, found in fermented foods such as natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, egg yolks, and liver. K2 is particularly valuable because it remains active in the body longer and plays an even greater role in guiding calcium into your bones instead of into your arteries. If you want to boost your vitamin K naturally, the best strategy is to eat more greens and include some fermented foods in your routine. A morning smoothie with kale, a side of sautéed spinach at dinner, or the occasional serving of aged cheese can go a long way. But for those who have trouble absorbing vitamin K due to digestive issues or long-term antibiotic use, supplements may be necessary. Here's the caution though: vitamin K plays a direct role in blood clotting. If you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, it's absolutely essential to consult your doctor before making changes, because the interaction could affect your health in serious ways. Now let's move to the final nutrient on our list, one that is often underestimated but can make or break your ability to stay mobile. Vitamin B6. Also known as pyridoxine, vitamin B6 plays a much larger role in leg strength and muscle performance than most people realize. While calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium usually steal the spotlight, B6 quietly works behind the scenes to keep everything functioning smoothly. It's essential for maintaining healthy nerves, repairing muscle tissue, and helping your body use protein effectively to build and preserve muscle mass. Without it, even strong muscles can weaken over time. Suddenly, everyday movements like standing up from a chair or climbing a set of stairs start to feel disproportionately exhausting. One of the most overlooked aspects of vitamin B6 is how directly it's tied to nerve communication and coordination. When B6 levels dip too low, those nerve signals slow down or get misdirected. The result: numbness, tingling sensations, or even unsteady walking patterns. For many older adults, these symptoms are mistaken for the normal process of aging, when in reality the body is simply starved of a nutrient it desperately needs. Unsteady walking patterns, numbness, or tingling in the legs are often brushed off as just normal aging. But the truth is, these issues are often the body's way of sounding the alarm. It's missing key nutrients like vitamin B6 that keep the neuromuscular system running smoothly. Another powerful benefit of vitamin B6 is its role in fighting inflammation-related muscle fatigue. By regulating the body's inflammatory response, B6 helps reduce muscle soreness, stiffness, and recovery time. That means if you've been struggling with legs that feel tight, achy, or slow to bounce back after activity, increasing your intake of B6 could be a game changer. But its influence doesn't stop with muscles. Vitamin B6 is also essential for producing red blood cells, the very cells that carry oxygen throughout your body. Without enough oxygen delivery, your muscles tire too quickly. A deficiency in B6 can cause lower hemoglobin levels, leaving you with heavy legs, early fatigue, and reduced stamina. If you've ever felt unusually exhausted after a short walk or light chores, your body might be signaling a desperate need for more B6. The good news is that vitamin B6 is easy to find in everyday foods. Poultry, salmon, tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified cereals are all excellent sources. By weaving these ingredients into your daily meals, you can naturally replenish your B6 levels, giving your nerves and muscles the support they need. For those who face digestive issues, poor absorption, or dietary restrictions, supplements may be necessary to reach optimal levels. The recommended daily intake for older adults is about 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men. While it's generally safe to get B6 from food supplements, should be taken with caution. Too much, especially in high doses over long periods, can actually damage nerves. The smartest strategy is balance. Aim for a diet rich in B6 sources and use supplements only when needed. And there you have it, 7 essential nutrients that can keep your legs strong, your balance steady, and your independence intact well into your later years. From vitamin D's muscle-activating power, to calcium's bone-strengthening role from B12's nerve protection, to magnesium's soothing effects from potassium's muscle coordination, to vitamin K's bone-directing ability, and finally, to B6's role in stamina and recovery. Together, they form the ultimate recipe for mobility, vitality, and freedom. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to tap the like button. It really helps us bring more life-changing content your way. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which of these nutrients surprised you the most, or which one do you plan to focus on first? We love hearing from you. AP, and of course, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss our newest tips for living healthier, longer, and stronger. Stay informed, stay active, and most importantly, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next video.